One of the two defensive tackles for the Miami Dolphins has been extended. What is up, Finn fans? Breaking news somewhat. It happened about an hour ago or so. The Dolphins have extended Zach Sieler. Dolphins have agreed with defensive line Zach Sieler on a 3-year extension worth $30.75 million with $20 guaranteed per source. With incentives, Sieler has the opportunity to earn up to $35.7, so another $5 million with incentives. Sieler has quickly become a core part of the Dolphins D. He gets rewarded with a raise and a big signing bonus. Now, I don't know the full extent of the contract. They normally takes a hot minute for them to come out and say like how much he's going to make each year and yada yada blah blah blah. But it's a 3-year deal, and I'm pretty sure that third year has an out, like most of the contracts that Brandon Shore and Chris Greer put out. So it's probably the 2024-25, and then there's an out afterwards. I don't think this is going to affect his number this year. Only $3.2 million this year. So I'm pretty sure this is just an extension added on. So that cap number or whatever is going to take effect next year, being it's a 3-year extension. And like I said, when I get the full details on the contract, I will be sure to let you know. Right now, nothing's out there. $20 million guaranteed. A lot of that could be a signing bonus. We don't know what the signing bonus is or anything like that. So we'll see how that all plays out. But the biggest thing, and probably a lot of people are wondering, is how does this affect Christian Wilkins? Now, Zach Sieler took a very team-friendly deal, right? He's getting about $10 million a year at $30.7 million with incentives to get up to $35. It's a very team-friendly deal. Where what does Wilkins want? What is Wilkins doing? All that stuff. Now, obviously, the Dolphins saw what happened last night in the preseason game and how the Dolphin defense got run all over when Sieler, Wilkins, and even Rashawn Hand wasn't on the field. A big portion of that defensive line wasn't on the field. So the Dolphins were like, wow, okay, we need to shore up these guys. And they did. And now it's Christian Wilkins. What's going on with Christian Wilkins, Doug? And I know this because my phone was blowing up when this happened. And a lot of people want to know what's going to happen with Wilkins. Could Wilkins still get a contract extension? Of course. There's still a way to make it work. Like I said, Brandon Shore is very good at the cap space and very good at the numbers. And, everything can be manipulated and all that stuff. But what is the likelihood of Christian Wilkins getting a contract extension? Now, I didn't think they both were going to get contract extensions. I could have been wrong, and I can be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. But it doesn't seem... It's hard to believe that they both were going to get contract extensions. It seemed like one or the two were going to get one, and the fact that Zach Sieler got his first, to me, doesn't bode well for Christian Wilkins. Now, again, I'm not saying it's not going to happen or that I don't hope it happens, but it's just... We'll see. To me, and I keep saying this and I keep talking about this with Christian Wilkins, it seems like he has a higher expectation, right? Like he puts himself at a top 5 defensive tackle. He probably wants around $21-22 million a year, but his production doesn't equate for that. You look at Ed Oliver, who's getting $17 million a year. I would put him a little higher than Ed Oliver, right? Christian Wilkins is a top 5, in my eyes, a number 1 run-stopping defensive tackle. But when it comes to the pass rush, right, you look at Dexter Lawrence, you look at Quinnen Williams, these guys, almost double-digit sacks a year. And then you have Christian Wilkins, who last year had 3.5 during the regular season. I think it was around 4 with the playoffs. It's not going to bode well that you want to be paid as an all-around top 5 defensive tackle when you're not necessarily an all-around top 5 defensive tackle. Now, that's not me saying he isn't a top 10, top 15 defensive tackle. But when your production on run stopping is number 1 and your production on pass rush is like 34, see where the discrepancy is? Like, it's a huge discrepancy when you look at Christian Wilkins and his run stopping and Christian Wilkins with his pass rush. It's like Sieler's a better pass rusher than Christian Wilkins is. Sieler had more sacks and more pressure and more hits on the quarterback, but then you flip it, and again, you can't talk enough about how good Christian Wilkins is as a run-stopping defensive tackle. Now, I think Drew Rosenhaus is both of their agents. I have to look that up real quick, because Drew Rosenhaus is Zach Sieler's agent. And no, David Athletes First is Christian Wilkins' agent, David Malagade. But again, he's making $10.7 million. Giving him a contract extension will clear up cap space, because that $10.7 million can be, flipped into a signing bonus and whatever. But I don't know. Me sitting here right now, it doesn't look good that he's going to get a contract extension. Could he be part of a trade package? Maybe. I wouldn't want to. I would still want him to stay on the team and at least play out this year, or maybe halfway through the season, the Dolphins come to some understanding with him and he comes to some understanding with the Dolphins and they get him a contract extension throughout the season. It's not like it hasn't happened before with teams. We did it with Devontae Parker in 2019, where halfway through the year we gave him a contract extension because he was on pace for 1,000 receiving yards. But Sieler got his contract extension. It was a very team-friendly deal. He's getting about $10 million a year. I bet you his cap hit next year is not near $10 million. I bet you, the money he's going to start to see is probably in 2025 when the Dolphins will have cap space. Probably saves a lot of money for the team. There's a lot of things going on with this, and this isn't going to be the end of the moves that the Dolphins are going to make. I told you guys in earlier this morning's video. If you haven't checked it out, I predicted or tried to predict the 53-man roster. I talked about there's going to be a lot of moves in the next couple of days, whether it comes to re-signing, trades, cuts, all that stuff. So I'll keep you guys updated. Like I said, if more little moves, little trickles here and there happen, I'll give you a full video later tonight. But this is the first domino with Sieler getting his contract extension. Maybe they go back to Wilkins and say, look, Sieler took this, yada yada. Can you come down more? What do you think about this? There's still ongoing negotiations, so we'll see how it all pans out. But I just want to come on here, give you an update on Sieler's situation, what's going on with Wilkins. But I will see you guys. If more breaking news happens, I'll see you guys later. If not, I'll see you guys definitely tomorrow. But like usual, stay classy. Offense up.